few weeks ago I did a video on the Sony eh36 and crowned it as the king of HD CRT. Nothing's changed with this review. This TV in front of us is not going to dethrone Sony's better model. This one is the eh36m31. It's the same size as the other one I just described. Flat screen, fairly similar time frame. I think this one here was manufactured in 2002. So the reason why I'm doing a video on it is because it's got a couple of Scart sockets in the back. It's pretty unusual at a glance for this TV or any TV to be HD, that is 720p and 1080i, as well as having Scart sockets, at least in Australia. Probably not in Europe, probably common as over there. While we're at the front, do the customary show what's there: svideo, composite and left-right audio. It's a very heavy set, 90 kilos on the dot, one of the heaviest I've had yet. Most TVs of this size are of around that weight, usually in the 80s, but this one is 90 on the dot. It's quite heavy. Okay, here we are at the back. Lighting's not really good, but here you've got a set of component inputs in RCA form. There's the two Scart sockets, and then you've audio out left and right. Now, this component input here takes your HD signals, 1080i, 720p. Can't remember off the top of my head if it does the low 480i and 576i, but the Scart one does. Now, this is the crux of the matter here. This is the poignant point of this review. You would assume that having Scart, that it would accept RGB. I must say this is the first display, TV, monitor, whatever you want to call it, I've had with a Scart socket that does not display RGB. I researched this before I purchased the TV, downloaded the instructions, and the instructions say that it takes component video over Scart 1 and Scart 2 is svideo. Well, I can confirm that that is true. I've even looked in the service manual. Now, the service manual states that the Scart 1 does take RGB. It's in accordance with Senelec standard, the standard that defines what signals go into the Scart, but it's wrong for this Australian model. It doesn't take RGB, and I've tried everything to get it working. So it's a bit of a bummer, actually. It's a big downfall of the set. Anyhow, we'll go back to the front and put on a few things and see what it looks like anyway. Okay, so now the Saturn's running on this TV via the Scart cable, but it's only in composite at the moment, and it looks bloody awful, to be honest. I should make mention of the fact that this is a 100Hz television, 100Hz that I don't like. But I wanted to give Sony a chance to see what they could do with this 100Hz business, seeing that Sony is pretty much the best in the CRT game. And unfortunately, the TV won't display RGB, so I can't really truly put it to the test. While I'm here, I'll try to, well, I'll show you what happens here. You can select your source for AV1. It's on video, which is composite. I can go into component. Should not work. Normally I'd get RGB now, but this TV wants component. So it's a no-go. You know, it amazes me that Sony devoted one of the Scarts on the back to svideo and not RGB, especially when I pointed out that this already has a dedicated svideo on the front. Why have two svideos and no RGB? It's pathetic, really. So, change it back onto component, onto video, I mean, which will be composite. I do like the transition from 4:3 aspect ratio to other ones, so that I can go to wide and back to 4:3, but it's a nice smooth change to each one. That's pretty cool. And one other point to note here that I really do like about this television, it's an option that I like to see in these newer sets, because the older ones don't have it. I've just got to find it. I think it's in manual setup. Picture rotation, there we go. I've said on my other videos, for some reason a lot of TVs here in this part of the world where I live, the screen, the picture as a whole is rotated slightly anti-clockwise, which this one was too, but you can actually rotate the picture. Not a huge deal, 5 points up and 5 points down, but given that +2 has made it fairly square with the frame of the set, so I'm pretty happy with that. Anyhow, some more things. One other good thing about this Sony is the service menu. The access is pretty easy. There's actually a couple of buttons on top here. I think it's just channel up and channel down. All you need to do is hold the two on and then turn the TV on. Right, so I'll let go of them now. And then you see TT come up. That means that you now have access to go into the service menu. Just ignore the game in the background, I've still got the Saturn going. Now if you push menu now, you get into the regular menu. Exit that, I push menu again, here you are into the service menu. It's a great service menu, it's not too cryptic at all, it's really laid out quite nicely. And one of the best things about it is too is that you can exit it, but the TV's still ready to go back into it. A lot of service menus, once you exit, that's it. You've got to perform the procedure to get back into it all over again. Normally you'd have to turn the TV off and do what I just did a moment ago. That's not the case. Get up that menu, and then voila, you're back into the service menu itself. It's got a lot of interesting options. Here you can even designate the chassis and the TV to be placed into another model of TV. Now, this setup as it is not suited to run as a different model of television, as indicated by no conformity. It's all in black. One of them should be in red, which is the actual this TV itself right now. Yeah, there it is. I don't know why it's not highlighted in red at the moment, but I've been tempted to try and change it in the hope that the RGB would be activated in the Scart, but I'm not going to do that just yet because I reckon it could brick the TV. So I'll leave that as is. Destination setting, set on Australia. I've set it to UK and I hope that the RGB might be activated, but it won't. So there's a lot of options here to fiddle with. Curiously, device register setting, there's one thing in here. Audio video switch. Now in the service manual, it does have some options in there for modifying the sync signal. But in this particular model of the television, when you enter the menu, it's blank. So I can't fiddle with that. That's a bummer. I think that's enough of the service menu. There's heaps and heaps of choices to alter the picture, vertical height, vertical size, horizontal size, etc, etc. Good effort from Sony there on the service menu. So now I've put on the 360 to have a look at the HD capability of the set. Now, the KV-HR that I talk about, the one I did the review a few weeks ago, the king of the HD CRTs, if it scored a 10 out of 10, I would score this TV a 7 out of 10, maybe a little bit higher on a good day, but as it is, let's say 7 out of 10. So with saying that, there's not a lot of point to this TV. You can get the KV-HR for better HD quality, and you can get heaps of other TVs with Scarts that can do RGB, just can do it for starters, unlike this one. I should talk a little bit more about the Scarts on the back. I said before that modern Sonys, it's bloody rare for a modern Sony When I mean modern, I mean just after the year 2000, around about then, to have Scart on the back. I've actually, just by chance, found another two Sony TVs of a similar vintage to this one that have Scarts on the back. They've both got 3 Scart sockets on them each. Not sure if they take RGB. Not even sure if they are 100Hz televisions. I think they are though, so I don't hold out much hope for them either. So basically, I can't recommend this set for any purpose. Not top tier HD quality, no RGB. Not really a place for it at all. I don't think it can do VGA. I haven't tested it thoroughly, but from what it's shown me so far, there's just no future with it. So skip this one.